The National Electrical Code does not require metallic conduit for underground feeder cable protecting a submersible well pump. National Electrical Code Article 334.15 states that underground feeder cable can be used for underground feeder circuits for appliances such as submersible pumps. It does not specify that the conduit must be metallic. National Electrical Code Article 334.17 allows underground feeder cable to be installed in conduit, but does not require it. Some local codes or regulations may have additional requirements for submersible well pump installations. However, these requirements typically focus on the pump itself, not the conduit. Based on the National Electrical Code, it is not required to use metallic conduit for underground feeder cable protecting a submersible well pump. It is recommended to request a specific citation from the code enforcement officer who issued the red tag, as there may be a local or state requirement that contradicts the National Electrical Code. When dealing with electrical installations, adherence to the National Electrical Code, or NEC, is paramount. However, it's crucial to remember that the NEC provides a baseline standard, and local jurisdictions may adopt amendments or create additional requirements that go beyond the NEC. This can lead to situations where an installation that complies with the NEC still receives a violation notice or a red tag due to non-compliance with local codes. In the context of submersible well pumps and the use of underground feeder or UF cable, the NEC outlines specific guidelines for its installation. UF cable is a type of electrical cable designed for direct burial in the ground, making it suitable for supplying power to submersible pumps located deep within a well. While the NEC permits the use of UF cable for this purpose, it does not explicitly mandate the use of metallic conduit for its protection. The decision to use conduit at all, and whether that conduit should be metallic or non-metallic, often depends on several factors, including the specific installation environment, local code requirements, and personal preferences. Conduit provides physical protection to the UF cable, shielding it from potential damage caused by rocks, roots, rodents, or other environmental factors. In situations where the cable is exposed to potential mechanical damage, such as near the surface where it could be struck by lawn equipment or during excavation, the use of conduit is highly recommended. Metallic conduit, such as rigid metal conduit or electrical metallic tubing, provides superior physical protection compared to non-metallic conduit, such as polyvinyl chloride or PVC conduit. However, metallic conduit is also more expensive and can be more difficult to install, especially in long runs or in areas with obstructions. PVC conduit is a more cost-effective and easier to install alternative, but it offers less physical protection. When choosing between metallic and non-metallic conduit, it's essential to consider the specific risks and hazards present at the installation site, as well as any local code requirements that may dictate the type of conduit required. In some jurisdictions, local codes may require the use of metallic conduit in certain situations, such as when the conduit is installed in direct contact with the earth or when it is exposed to corrosive environments. Other jurisdictions may allow the use of non-metallic conduit in all situations, as long as the cable is adequately protected from physical damage. To determine the specific requirements for a particular installation, it's always best to consult with the local electrical inspector or building department. These officials can provide guidance on the applicable codes and regulations, as well as any local amendments or interpretations that may apply. They can also help to identify potential hazards and risks that may warrant the use of metallic conduit or other protective measures. If a red tag is issued for an installation that is believed to comply with the NEC, it's important to request a specific citation from the code enforcement officer who issued the tag. The citation should identify the specific code section or regulation that was violated, as well as the reason for the violation. This information can then be used to research the applicable codes and regulations and to determine whether the red tag was issued in error. If the red tag was issued based on a local code requirement that is not explicitly stated in the NEC, it may be possible to appeal the violation or to request a variance from the local code. However, it's important to remember that local codes take precedence over the NEC, and the code enforcement officer has the authority to enforce those codes. In some cases, it may be necessary to modify the installation to comply with the local code, even if it means using metallic conduit when it is not required by the NEC. The National Electrical Code provides comprehensive guidelines for electrical installations, but it is essential to understand its limitations and to be aware of any local codes or regulations that may apply. By working closely with local electrical inspectors and building departments, it is possible to ensure that all electrical installations are safe, compliant, and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Moreover, understanding the relevant articles within the NEC is critical for any electrical installation. For example, when considering the use of underground feeder cable, referencing Article 334 provides detailed information about its permitted uses, installation requirements, and limitations. This article clarifies that underground feeder cable is indeed suitable for direct burial applications, which are common in well pump installations, but it also emphasizes the need for proper protection against physical damage. Furthermore, the NEC addresses the requirements for wiring methods in agricultural buildings, which may be relevant if the well pump is located on a farm or agricultural property. These requirements are designed to minimize the risk of electrical hazards in environments that may be exposed to moisture, dust, or corrosive substances. In addition to the NEC, other standards and guidelines may also apply to well pump installations. For instance, the well water regulations may specify requirements for the construction, installation, and maintenance of wells, including electrical safety requirements. These regulations are typically enforced by local or state health departments and are designed to protect the quality and safety of drinking water. When planning a well pump installation, it's crucial to consult with all relevant authorities and to obtain any necessary permits or approvals. This will help to ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and regulations and that it is safe and reliable. In conclusion, while the NEC does not explicitly require the use of metallic conduit for underground feeder cable protecting a submersible well pump, it's essential to consider all relevant factors, including the specific installation environment, local code requirements, and potential hazards. By working closely with local electrical inspectors and building departments and by adhering to all applicable codes and regulations, it is possible to ensure that the installation is safe, compliant, and in accordance with all applicable standards. Remember, electrical safety is paramount, and it's always best to err on the side of caution when dealing with electrical installations. If there is any doubt about the proper way to install a well pump or any other electrical equipment, it's best to consult with a qualified electrician. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's not worth risking your safety or the safety of others to save a few dollars. Always hire a licensed and insured electrician to perform any electrical work that you are not qualified to do yourself. And always remember to turn off the power before working on any electrical equipment. National Electrical Code articles provide detailed guidance on the safe and compliant installation of electrical systems, including those involving submersible well pumps. It is important to consult these articles and any applicable local codes to ensure that the installation meets all requirements. First, always verify local codes. Second, request specific citation from code enforcement. Third, consider the installation environment. Fourth, ensure proper protection against physical damage.